everyone.
Welcome to Record Base for immediate complete dentures video. I want to say thank you to Dr. Van first, because he's the one that always making and always trying to get these videos done, and he's chasing me around sometimes to get them done. So thank him very much for doing this. In this case, now that we have previously made our impression trays, it's time for, now let's pretend these are my master casts, okay? And the master casts need to be mounted on the articulator, right? And I can kind of like know how the patient bites, but I don't have a stable record of how these two upper and lower casts, match to each other. So what I need to do is, we need to fabricate in the lab a set of base plates and wax rims that we will take to the patient's mouth and record the maxillomandibular records. With those maxillomandibular records, then I can transfer these two casts onto the articulator and be able to fabricate a nice and precise set of dentures. So for this purpose, we need to fabricate base plates and wax rims. That's what we're doing today. Let's go first with the upper. And on the upper, I did already outline, so I don't take that long on the video, but I outline how I want this base plate. And because I still have the teeth, basically where I need the base plate is only on the edentulous areas. Because we have the teeth and we don't need this base plate. Remember, the base plate is the pink VCL material that we use. I don't want these and the limits of it go onto the teeth here. We have some minor undercuts in the teeth or between teeth that I want to block out before I do any VCL. Look, I'm just gonna go with a very small amount of wax.
I think it'd work a little better with the torch.
Maybe. I'm just showing one of the 100 of ways to kill the fly, right?
That's one of the videos we need to make, right? You kill a fly at least 100 different ways.
We need to make a video like that, huh? Maybe we'll use...
Nah, PETA might not like it. Even though we're not going to eat the fly.
So I can always melt the wax. This is just the rope wax that we use, that you can find on the wet lab, right? It's very soft, very easy to handle. And again, guys, if you know what you're doing, it doesn't matter what material you use, as long as you know where are you looking for and what's the final outcome that you need. In this case, the only thing I need is to cover those undercuts. So by the time I put the VCL here and it gets hard, it doesn't get locked into these parts. That's the only purpose for this material. Okay? Once I have it like this, what's the next step?
Get around that bicuspid now. Get around the distals of those teeth.
Like here, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
You think that's undercut?
Yes, maybe.
Sí.
¿Sí o no? Let's see.
Sí, professor.
Okay, let's get a little bit more here.
Don't want to break that bicuspid off. Not yet. We're going
not yet.
to be. We're not. We're going.
We will at some point.
Off.
We will at some point. Yeah, but not yet. Come on, this has to be nice and didactic. Okay. And this, of course, guys, this is going to the patient's mouth. So the less time you spend in the patient's mouth trying to adjust it, the better, So you can spend a lot of time in the lab, but in the clinic, everything has to be profitable. Everything has to be efficient. Now that we have this, I'm gonna put a coat. There's no spacing, right? No spacing on this one. I want this one to go intimate in it. If I just put the VCL This is the pink VCL, remember? Let me take only one scoop. Close it. Right? I'm gonna take one. If I put it right there, right now, it may get stuck in here. Make sure there is no retentive areas, and we are going to put a coat of Vaselina. Right? Petroleum. What's the name? Petroleum.
Petrolate, I believe.
Petrolate. Sorry for my accents. Just a thin coat, and then with that coat, I can always use also in my fingers. Then I'm just gonna lay it here, okay? With the Vaseline. I'm just gonna adapt this. There is no tissue stops, there is no handles.
It is all tissue stop. It's all sitting on the tissue.
There is no, exactly.
And the cingulum of the teeth to stabilize it.
The only thing I'm using here, pretty much like just Van said, is the cingulum of the teeth to stabilize.
Now you've got to be careful, like in this case, that the lower cuspids don't hit this record base when you're taking a bite if you got it up too high on the cinguli.
Yes, you're right. But you can always remember, you want to prepare this and have it as best as possible to go to the clinic. And then in the clinic, you will try it. And then you can make the necessary modifications down in the clinic, but it's just got to be minor modifications. I don't want to go, maybe I don't want to go all the way down to the deepest part of the vestibule. The only thing I need is something to be stable enough. Guys, this base plate, the only thing I need for this base plate is for me to be stable enough to put some wax rims and to be able to take these MMR records. That's it. This is not going to be part of my denture. This is not going to be part of anything else. So it's critical that it's well adapted, but also you don't have to take 7 hours to do this. You know, this is something that we do fairly quick. You see how we have on the cingulum. Look over here, it went almost there. As long as you find it that it will be stable enough, I don't even want to go all the way down. Sometimes even if you go all the way down, it can be too retentive. So that's good enough, okay? Let's cut it here.
We are rolling, rocking and rolling.
Okay, so this is the lower now. On the lower, again, I'm gonna take a VCL pink sheet, put it there. On this case, like I was saying with the upper tray, I want to extend it far enough to be stable. Maybe in these cases, I don't want to go all the way down there because it's gonna get stuck. And remember, you guys are working now on the master cast, so you don't want to mess around with this master cast too much. So in this case, as long as it's stable, you can be short of it, okay? There's not many places that I need to block this. Probably sometimes on real patients you will find some retentive areas, but in this case we don't have any. Let's do one coat of Vaselina. And let's fabricate. Okay, we have these. And look how we're doing it.
You don't think you need any wax around the teeth to block out?
So what I'm going to do in here, Wallace, you'll see.
Pull it away.
So I'm going to put it right there, right? And I'm just going to poke a hole here. And I'm just going to poke a hole right there. right? Just get them like this, right? And then with my knife, it's gonna cut the excess right here. Guys, look how short I am from the deepest part of the vestibule right there. It's okay, right? I don't want this to get stuck. I don't want to mess up my
Master cast.
master cast. I just need a tray that is stable enough to hold that wax ring, right? And it goes in and out freely without getting stuck or hurting my patient. So look, around the teeth, you just carve it around. Make sure you carve a little bit more than just the neck of the tooth, because remember the occlusal portion is a little bit bigger, right? This does not have to have limits or anything like that. This one, on the contrary of the complete dentures base plates, that I would like to be a little bit more specific and more more precise on the limits and everything, because we don't have that much retention. Here, it's not that big of a deal in here. So now we have both of the base plates ready to go
In the
to the light.
Yeah.
You want to do a little here?
You got it. Okay, yeah, you can move it around and model it for them.
We're modeling
If you're selling a car.
this beautiful BCL material.
These wonderful streamline edges here.
Only one owner. Right there. Right there. Salud.
Okay, now we're rolling.
Okay, now these are coming out from
Curing unit.
the curing unit, and now we have to make sure, you know, they're not stuck or anything. If you see, we have it here. Now we'll use that. Let me just take this one off. Just be very careful, because these parts here, you know, if you didn't, like Dr. Van was telling me to do this one over here, put a little bit of wax and get that undercut, you may break the teeth. So let's go to this side. Oops. And like Dr. Van was telling me, whoops, I didn't put enough here. It's not the end of the world. We're just working with this, and we can always bring it back. Get a little bit of
Particularly here, we're
super glue.
break the tooth off anyway, so you know.
We're gonna break that anyways,
But
but
we still want a good bite registration.
right, exactly. I'm gonna put it back. I'm gonna let it set. Just let it set there. Not a big deal. And this one here, I'm just gonna get off that. I'm just gonna cut this part, make it nice and smooth. You wanna cut it?